So how many of you have hired a development team in the past? Just a few? Okay. How has that experience gone for you? Yeah, that's pretty much what I hear across the board. Expensive, terrible, they're late, they don't get it, they don't get the vision, blah, 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 blah. So here's what I'm going to train you to do today. You're going to stop waiting, you're going to start shipping. We're calling this tribecoding and the Cloudflare revolution. From technical dependency to founder freedom in 90 minutes. I'm going to set up 10 slides, then we're going to dive right in and start doing it. Cool? Cool. So maybe you're not a coder. I don't really qualify as that, although I can. Maybe you have a brilliant idea that's stuck in your head or a Notion doc that you've just been wanting to implement and you don't know how to do it because you don't have the technical expertise. You've been waiting on quotes, dev approvals, all that crap ends today. Today, you are going to ship something. So why tribe coding? Well, I started with vibe coding. A lot of you may have tested it. How many people have played around with vibe coding tools? Quite a few of you. It was fun, and I got into some flow states, and I had some really cool wins. Jasmine can tell you, like I'll occasionally woohoo in the middle of a day. And it's fun, but it's lonely. And everybody says that there's going to be a billion-dollar company. Somebody's going to build in their mom's basement with, you know, a solo founder and a bunch of robots. And that sounds boring, lonely, and shitty to me. I'd rather do it with all my friends or my tribe. So the evolution today is from vibe coding to tribe coding. We're all going to do it together, and we're all going to make it fun. A little bit of a story about me. When I was 4 years old, somehow a Tandy computer showed up. Anybody remember from the 80s in like 1990 or 1989? A Tandy computer that would plug into your TV, and it came with a big frickin' book of commands that you had to type in manually on your typewriter that was hooked up to your machine. And I built this little game that was literally some symbols that when they were arranged in a certain order became two clowns holding a trampoline with a third clown getting bounced around and breaking balloons. Anybody old enough to remember this game? A couple people? You've seen this game? I don't even know what the hell it was called. I think it was just called Clowns and Balloons. But we discovered a bug in the game. This is my dad and I, rest in peace, that let itself play itself forever. So basically what would happen is you'd move the trampoline into the exact right place, and it would bounce in just a certain way where it would like bounce up and hit the balloons and break the balloons, and you get points, and it would just keep doing that. And we realized if we just unplugged the controller, it became this infinite points glitch. It would just keep going. It would just keep bouncing. It would just keep breaking balloons. They would just keep regenerating. It would just keep going. And we could let it run all night. And we're like, well, how high can it go? It turns out it can go to 1 million, and it would start over from 0. But that was my first infinite money glitch. So now I'm 40, just turned 40. I made it. And instead of basic, it's Claude and Cloudflare. Instead of balloon points, it's Stripe payments. And it's the same principle. You build the system, you let it run, you unplug the controller, you go do something else, and you watch the numbers climb. So this is the opportunity. You don't have to write the code. Claude writes the code for you. Cloudflare deploys it globally across the world in 30 seconds to 5 minutes for free. And your tools that you're paying all this money for become free or cost you pennies, literally. So what used to cost $5,000 and require a computer science degree, it now costs $0 and you can learn it in minutes. So let's think about coding in a new way. Let's give you a new analogy. Coding is it's a language. You can learn it or you cannot learn it. But if you go and study Spanish in a book for 2 or 5 or 10 years, how many people study a foreign language and still can't speak it? Yep. What happens, right? The new way is you land in Madrid, you order badly, and you learn real fast, right? You go and you get the coffee. You can't even order coffee, now you can order coffee. Or you get a translator. You get somebody that knows the language and knows exactly where to go and how to find things, and they can order your coffee. And then, oh, I get it. Okay, it's not so hard. Un cafecito, por favor, right? So you don't need to be fluent. AI can translate. You just need to order coffee and launch V1. That's it. So what's actually stopping you? You have 47 half-finished projects. It's almost done. The devs don't get it. You got perfectionism. You don't need to become a dev. Say it with me. I don't need to become a dev.
I don't need to become a dev.
Thank you. You just need to ship something. And then your whole fucking life will change. Because you'll see what's possible, and you'll see that you can do it too. And it's not all that magical, and it's not reserved just for the wizards of the world. You can do it too. So here's the philosophy. Ask questions before you build, because you can get into trouble if you don't know what you're doing. Claude is your local translator, your local guide. Copy paste is not cheating, gang. It's just efficient. If it works, it's right until it breaks, and your vibe attracts your tribe, and together you build better. So we move from vibe coding in our little silos to tribe coding together. We all work together, we all get better, everybody builds something, everybody ships something. Today, we're going to do it together. So today's mission, by the end of the session, you will have something live on the internet that you fucking built. You will feel confident shipping something, dirty, ugly, to the internet today. And you'll never be stuck waiting on a dev again. This is not a class, this is a revolution. It starts today, let's build something. You guys excited? Yes. Let's go. Yes. All right, let's rock. So, that's it for the slides. How do I get rid of them? There they go. So, this document is located at marbles.link/tribecoding. There's a lot here. We made it exhaustive. It's 20 pages. We're not going to get in the weeds on everything today. This is so that you have it and you can play with it later. We're going to go through it together and do this stuff so that you can actually get the outcome right now. Everybody with me?
Yes.
Anybody having trouble with the document? We're also going to link it in the logistics doc so you can grab it later. Thank you. And I have a lot of anonymous animals running around now. Cool. Perfect. I already told the story. So again, you're not learning to code, you're visiting Spain. This is the immersion approach. We're going to land with a local guide and order coffee day one. Claude is your local guide. You can go ahead and open Claude if you have it on your desktop, grab it. Claude basically does a few things. It warns you about dangerous neighborhoods, liability, but it's your job to ask questions. Hey, is this a dangerous neighborhood? Should I probably ask somebody, get an adult? It shows you shortcuts that only locals know. You learn by doing, not studying. But you must trust but verify, because Claude, as good as it is, doesn't live in three-dimensional reality like you do. So above all, be curious, ask questions, but be kind and grateful. It helps. I don't know why. If you treat your AI like a dick, it remembers forever. And when it's a robot running around with three-dimensional arms and legs and machine guns and shit, it might remember that too. So be kind, be grateful. It's going to be OK. So it's all about asking Claude the right questions. It's not write all the code, but hey, what are the risks here? What am I not thinking about? Or how can I verify this? Or wouldn't it be cool if it could do this? That sent me down more rabbit holes than I can even imagine. Is that possible? What are the pros and cons of doing it this way versus that way? What am I missing here? When should I call an adult? This is my favorite question. When should I call an adult? When you're dealing with people's data and people's money, you should probably call an adult. So here's a little pro tip for you. Give it instructions to give you a confidence score. Anytime it gives you something, tell me how confident you are. Are you 99% confident or are you 40% confident? From there, you can ask more questions. And always trust but verify. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. I'm going to teach you 6 things, and then we're going to get into it. These 6 things are really easy. You probably know some of them already. Some of them are specific to Cloudflare, some of them are not. What's HTML? Does anybody want to tell me? HTML, anybody ever coded in HTML before or know what it is? Most websites on the internet are basically in HTML. Or some version of it. Some of them use CSS, some of them use JavaScript, but it's a lot of HTML. If you've ever been to a website, you know what HTML is, cool. But it's basically like, if we think of this as a food truck business.
I have owned one of those.
What's that?
I've owned one of those.
Oh, perfect. This is a great analogy for you then. Your menu board is like kind of what the customers see. Here's what we got. That's your website. So it's a lightweight, responsive, easy to read coding language that tells the computer what to display on the screen when your customers visit your website or your app. What's an API? An API is like a supplier. It's basically an interface that allows softwares to talk to each other and send data back and forth. That's it. Sometimes they cost money, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they give you a bunch of money to play with because devs get everything for free and no value. Like they get everything for free and everybody's expecting stuff for free. They get all this stuff open source. And entrepreneurs, on the other hand, they know the cost of everything and they try to build real businesses and they understand how hard that is. And I want to collapse the gap between those two. I want to give you guys the same access that devs get because it's just behind a language, that's all. You just got to translate it. A worker is specific to Cloudflare. It's like an employee that works 24/7 for you in the background. So this is what Cloudflare uses to handle tasks that require more than just a simple call and response, right? Back and forth. Like, hey, we could build something really simple, like, I need this data, give me this data. Or we can do something that's like, hey, this is a multi-step process, and we're going to come back with an answer, or multiple answers. KV storage is just memory. That's it. It's just remember what this user did, remember what the output was, and we can call it back later. Fair enough? HTML, that's what's on the website. That's what people see. API, data back and forth, one platform to another. Workers, this takes multiple steps. I'm going to use a worker for that. And KV just keeps track of what you did. Fair enough? So Cloudflare is a service that handles all of this for you, and Claude can help you talk with it in its native language. So you can build the code together and deploy. You tell it what to do. It asks you questions. It gives you the code. You put it on Cloudflare. It goes everywhere in minutes without ever leaving their service. So there you go. 4 concepts, 1 platform. It houses them all in one local guide to empower you to start building. Everything else is details. One thing is, I think, important to know if you've never built anything before, API keys are like the keys to a vault or your wallet, right? Somebody with your API key can abuse your system. So just don't put them in the front end code. Keep them in the .env file or something like that. We can go into that. You can ask us about it later. But that's just one thing to flag. Like if you're going to learn one thing, it's like this is danger zone. Always try to keep your API keys private. Rotate them out. Just be clear about that because it's like having the keys to your house out there in the world, So here's 4 example projects that will walk you through these concepts, right? I built them just so you can play with them. One is a really simple one. It's an audio transcriber. You can go play with it right now, right? If you want. I won't, actually, I'm going to amend that. Don't go play with it right now. We'll play with it later, but you have it and you can play with it on your time because it'll slow down the process too much. But this took me about 30 minutes to build, about 90 minutes to debug. That's a common thing. The build is easy, and then actually getting it all to work and do it the way you want it to do it takes a little bit more time. And it's just a simple call and response. So let me show it to you what it actually looks like. Here it is. So who pays for Otter or something like it? Otter currently costs about $300 a year, right? And Otter's great. They have awesome features. I'm not saying anything bad against Otter. But the basic formula of Otter is give me an audio file, I'll give you a transcript. Why am I paying $300 a year for that when this can do it for free? So I found an API called DeepGram that a lot of AI companies use that gives you $200 in free credit to play around if you're a dev. What does that translate to in real time and money? That's 1,300 30-minute conversations it'll transcribe for free before you pay anything, and after that, it's half a cent a minute. Can you get off of Otter for that? So this is a file that I built in HTML that lives on your desktop. It can also go on the internet. This one can just live wherever you want it to. And you pop a file in here. I'll find one right now. Let's do audio only. It's going to upload. It's going to talk to DeepGram. And it's going to work because I will it to.
So is this only for static files that you're uploading, or can you do like real-time transcription?
You could, but this isn't set up for that. Yeah. That's a great question. OK, so that's done. There's your transcript. How long did that take? Right? Pretty good. This is just a really simple tool I built myself. You could build something like this yourself. That starts to get your wheels turning. What else am I paying shit tons of money for that I could build myself and give to my team, give to my clients? This is the future of lead magnets. Why are we going to give somebody a PDF or a video when we can give them something they actually want to use, is useful, and it does a function that they already need that I can build myself? And if you want to make it more like a lead magnet, you can just do that. You just say, hey, you want more of these tools? Come check out Optimus. You could do this for your business. You could skin it with your brand. You can do it with your colors. You could do it with all that, right? So that's example number 1. Then I went a little bit crazier. I said, all right, what if I was to take a stripped down version of what I showed you before, right? From Optimus OS Alpha to just a lead magnet that does the same thing, but it does it in a very simple window. So I set this one up, which I'll tell you what it does and I'll show you what it does. It takes the data from Apollo, so all the leads, 275 million leads. it takes your OpenAI key, it finds their LinkedIn and their emails, it drafts the emails, and then you can just send them wherever you want. And it does that in seconds. So you basically go in, you follow the steps, you put in your API keys, ideal customer profile, your offer, your email templates, the specific problem you solve, blah, 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 your signature. And you say, hey, how many leads do I actually want? Okay, I want, I don't know, I'm going to delete the history. So let's view history, delete, clear, search fresh, cool, okay, refresh. All right, now we're back to 0. And let's find some leads, shall we? And it saved everything I had put in before, so that's cool. Because it has KV storage. That's fun. Now it's found 7 leads.
What's the source here again? Apollo?
Apollo. Yeah, it's using Apollo to call up, hey, where are these leads that match my criteria? And it's using OpenAI, ChatGPT, to actually draft the emails. And it's going to think for 10 seconds, and then it's going to spit out some emails. There they are. So here's my Ace Hardware owners and operators. I can go to their LinkedIn profile if I so choose. I will do it in a new window. Let me just copy the link. Let me go over where I'm actually logged in. So it sends me first the LinkedIn to Lonnie's. Oh, I did it twice. That's my bad. Boop, boop, boop. So it sends me to Lonnie's LinkedIn. I could send Lonnie a message. I could send him a friend request. I can do all that stuff, whatever the parlance is. Or I can get Lonnie's email, right? So it's a little button here. It says, hey, give me Lonnie's email. Cool. There's Lonnie's email. Pretty frickin' slick, huh? And now I got this nice message I can personalize, tweak, and send. How long did that take us? Pretty good. And it'll store your history and all this stuff. Ryan, question?
Are you taking questions right now?
Let me get through them, and then, yeah. If I don't answer it, then we'll come right back to it. I just have these 4 things that I built. Then you can come back to history. You can come in this window. You can say enrich here. It'll either have or it won't. Some of them it doesn't have email. Some of them it does. Bada bing, bada boom. You're off to the races. You can download the history. You can download the emails. And again, this is a lead magnet. I left this 85% done. I didn't debug it all the way, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. But just keep it an open loop there, because I want you all to get involved. This is tribe coding after all. Then I was like, okay, I got the API keys, I got the HTML, I can call and respond, I can use workers, I can use memory, like I'm using all these 4 tools. What else can I build? What's a project we just haven't gotten done that's kind of been kept in the parking lot, getting pushed off? It's my dang website for my charity. So I was like, well, all right, I'm going to set up a charity for my website, or a website for my charity. And I did that. I built this in 2 hours. Actually, the hardest part was getting all these damn photos to cooperate. Just finding them on my phone and then getting them all to play nicely. But I was able to build this website myself, and I am not a designer at all. And I did this in 2 hours. Then, when I was like, all right, what's a good way to take donations on the website? What's everybody use? DonorBox? Stripe? I found this out. I was like, hey, DonorBox actually charges more than Stripe to charities. They charge 2.9% on every transaction. What was the next question you think I asked myself? Can I build my own fucking DonorBox and make it open source and fuck those guys? So I did that. I built freedonatebutton.org, where you can calculate your savings, you could try a live demo, and it saves you thousands annually. So you can go and say, all right, who runs a charity in the room? A couple of you, for sure. How much did you raise last year? A lot. Okay, say $1 million. So 100,000 a month, fair?
Yeah.
That means if you use GoFundMe, you're losing 60,000 a year. If you're losing 21,000 a year on DonorBox Starter, Pro is 18,000 a year. PayPal is taking you for $34,800 a year. Patreon is 96,000 a year. I can put that right back in your pocket in 30 seconds. So you can do the work that you were meant to do. You can see I'm passionate about this. I'm angry that shit like this doesn't exist and should. So I built it. So every time you have an idea now, why not build it? You're never going to be hamstrung by tech again. And oh, by the way, here it is. Ready? One time or monthly, pick your money, put in your own amount, donate, goes right to Stripe. I mean, it is Stripe. That's all it is. I just made a fancy way to look at it. Yeah. So Stripe lends the credibility, and I just give you the code.
The Stripe page at the end, so there's no,
Yep, so 5-minute setup, direct to your Stripe, bank level security, multi-currency, mobile optimized, fully customizable. And this is for illustration purposes. And here's the warning. So this is what I learned. Stripe has an API. It's called Stripe Connect. Stripe Connect is meant for Uber and Amazon and the huge enterprises of the world to own the Stripe experience end to end. What does that mean? That means when you sign up for Stripe Connect and they approve you, they give you some documentation. They say, listen, you're in charge of this platform. You have to take on all of the liability of everybody who ever uses this platform. That means that every refund, every chargeback, every negative cash flow situation is on you. Now, if you've been following along with my little journey here, I'm a charity trying to help other charities for free. If I have one bad actor that has access to this, as they wanted me to set it up, what happens to my charity? Gone. The second I have a bad actor that spams me, or even somebody who means well and does the wrong thing and gets upside down, I'm on the hook. So it's for illustration purposes only. It's not live yet because I still have to work that out with Stripe. But I wanted to use it as an example of A, a thing you can do, and B, a thing that I started out trying to do a good thing. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, and now I got to reevaluate because I'm dealing with other people's money, right? It's a big issue. So make sure you read the fine print. Don't just take Claude's word for it. Make sure it actually works. And then finally, I built my website. So those are the 4 examples. Let's go back to the show here.